It's the Full Force News Burst, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod, AKA Diagnostic 80. Now let's get into the news. Hello, welcome to the show. I was caught by surprise for some reason there. That was quite funny. It's like, oh yeah, I went live a few seconds ago. Hello everyone, another big day in G.I. Joe land. And hello everyone in the chat. One thing I'm gonna say this straight from the off, right? On these days, it just gets too much, and I probably get 20 or so people or more sending me messages, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm also looking at this stuff as it happened. I am focused, trying to take images left, right, and center, trying to post some stuff, watching a feed sometimes without posting anything, because I know that I need to focus on what's going on, and I can't post a bunch of stuff because I know there's going to be more stuff. And it just gets to the point in a day where I'm exhausted. It's the panel happens, right? Or is happening, people are posting stuff and it's kind of oh, interesting, and then I'm getting the same image sent to me 50 or 60 times. It's crazy. I love it, don't get me wrong, but it gets to the point where I'm just it's so hard to keep up, messaging people, telling awesome, thanks, got it, awesome, great, thanks. And it's just insane when these days kick off, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But I'm telling you now, I am absolutely knackered, because it has been you have that panel, then you have all the pit pictures, and then I had Phil Donnelly, shout out to Phil, sending images of the booth, and he sent so many, and I'm this is great, keep them coming. But then I'm there's a little pause, and I'm okay, I'll post these now, because I know there's going to be more coming. Yes, I know there's I know there's another panel and stuff like that. My apologies. If you want to go see that, you're more than welcome. I'm only going to be recapping the day, so you're more than welcome to watch this whenever you want. It's no biggie. Yeah, so lots to get into. Another thing I should say is obviously the 2025 listings are nearly almost complete now. When we get to that page, you guys are going to be oh, cool. And then the 2026 listings have changed. I know. So there's a load more leaked 2026 listings that have popped out. So we are going to show you those ones. And again, it's just listings. I don't think we've got any names on any of it. I think it's just still Taurus and Red Dog and the HasLab Snowcat are the only two things on that list. But it'll show you now, as we look at the new 2026 listings, it'll be oh, okay, because they grow throughout the year, and there's been a growth of those listings. I say leaked listings, they're listings at this point that are just out there. But in any case, we'll get to that in a second for 2026. It's just easier to say leaked listings, you know what I'm talking about. Anywho, I wish I was home to completely absorb all this as Blitz. I tell you what, Sdcc is always crazy, always crazy. Yes, my claws are here as well, by the way. My claw is here. That got delivered earlier today. I think a few of you have got that today. Yeah, lovely stuff. Anyway, lots to get stuck into. Like I said, we're going to have a big kind of new listings thing to look at as well, and not know what they are. And the other thing is, all of the name onlys, we don't have any of the listings associated with them. I don't know Lifeline, and we'll get to that in a second, but I don't have, none of those are unlocked, because I have no idea which ones they're most likely 2020. Obviously they're 2026 listings, there's no doubt about it, but I do not know where they land on that particular on that graphic. So I can't unlock any of them, unfortunately, but I can unlock a few of the other things that were shown today. So yeah, let's get it on. So an explosion should happen about now. Yeah, it's been a wild day. of course, that kind of mystery character was revealed almost immediately, of course, and the steel core sentry and defense post was shown as well, and of course, Shortfuse and Steeler, which we knew were coming, and I'll unlock that listing later. And what are the other ones? There was, well, we'll get through them. There's loads, but first off, here's some nice graphics. Now, yeah, the panel kicked off at 1. I completely forgot they do the panel and then a recap is the live stream. I completely forgot that because that happened last year as well. And I was completely taken by surprise when the first images started showing up of, oh, they've just revealed Shortfuse and Steeler. And I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh, God, yeah, of course, because they start at 1 and they do the panel. And then afterwards, idiots, that's me, that's my bad, and my apologies. At least we got a nice, a nice clean shot of all the images that I could then take and repurpose into this scenario. The Sdcc 2025 brand panel, brought to you by Lenny, Tony, and Emily. And of course, a little I took this screenshot on purpose because it showed that there are pre-orders going up July the 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and that is for the mainline wave of 4, which is Grim Viper, Mainframe, Wetsuit, Sci-Fi, the Desert Scorpion, and the defense post with the steel core sentry. So those will be going up for pre-order following the event on the 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then the other things are sort of like reveals that we're going to be going up later. The Ghost Viper, amazing, is Walmart exclusive, and that will unlock one of those listings, the only listing it can unlock, and we've cross-referenced the numbers. Everything's cool on that one. I suppose it is sort of a 2-pack, but that was misleading. But it is known as a Brooklyn 2-pack. But anyway, that's unlocked. And Shortfuse and Steeler are the Target exclusive. So yeah, that should again be very clear when we get onto that page later. Anyway, they started off with some promo images of the Snowcat, which again we get to see Flint and Jay in the bivouac cooking up some food, some sausages over the fire. Here is Flint packing said bivouac away into the Snowcat's chair storage, which is brilliant. Skybound's tomorrow, I think, Action Jay. I think Skybound's panel is tomorrow, or it's in the evening tonight, but I think it might be tomorrow. It's either in the evening tonight at like 7:30 or 8:30, or it's tomorrow at that same time. What else can we Viper, says Glyn? I don't know. Poo Viper. Weasel Viper. I suppose we've got a wild weasel. But yeah. Oh, no worries. Again, don't quote me on that, but there's a post on our socials if you want to run down to Facebook and just scroll until you get to the panel information for both the HASBRO and the Skybound one. So go and check that out. Tyrone's like, no. What's no? Anyway. Yeah, so yeah, unfortunately, I did notice that. I did notice a few dropouts on the old Snowcat backer numbers. It went from like 7.3 to like 7.2 something, which is a shame. Fans were literally booing Target at the panel. I know, I heard Emily had to chew them out a little bit on that, which I thought was quite funny. Anyway, yeah, Snowcat. So got some promo images, which I was excited to see, and there's some cool ones here, again, in that snowy environment, showing the missiles here, showing the lighting here, showing a bit of frostbite here, there and everywhere. And this one here, a bit more kind of showing the terrain that it can traverse with the wheels and the treads, which is kind of cool. And there's frostbite with the old cockpit flexed up. Nice. I imagine we'll start seeing these promo images kind of circulated into the HasLab page on the Hasbro Pulse. Blitz says, Chris, any idea if the international backers counted at the end thing is real, or is that collector HasLab folklore? I think it was. I don't think it's folklore. I think it was just assumed when like a group of numbers went up at the end, and I think it is the thing. I'm not. I don't know why that happens, but I think at the time it was because they had to manually incorporate that information. But I don't know is the answer really to that one, Blitz. It could be a folklore thing, but also there's such a huge influx of numbers at the end that it's hard to say either way, really. Anyway, exclusives are how Hasbro make money. They aren't going anywhere. They drop the line before stopping. So of course they would. Yeah, I mean it's part of it, but it's not all of it. And that it's definitely like it's improved it since day one. But in terms of like how Target and Walmart operate, you cannot account for that. Like you just can't account for how Target and Walmart will operate, as partners. Like you just have to kind of, take it, unfortunately, because they're a much stronger position. But anyway, yeah. Love that they are moving to use USB for the lighting on future HasLab vehicles, says Wilfredo. I wasn't aware of that because I missed that completely. Stanley says with Transformers HasLabs, international backers are added weekly. Interesting. I don't know what the deal is with the international backers thing, but who knows? That could obviously be a massive bump. I would expect if they had a large amount of international backers, they would probably have incorporated it by now. Like if they probably would have been like, yeah, let's get this over the line with that. Let's do that. That's what I would do personally. I'd be like, yeah, let's just incorporate them now. No one needs to know when that happens. But anyway, yeah, there you go. And here's some more lit shots. Lit, get it? Well, because it's lights. Again, nice. I've got to say I'm super into the Snowcat and I really want it to succeed. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's not going to be as big as previous, and I am surprised it hasn't backed already. Just the base level, very surprised. I think we're so close to it. It feels like it should by default be past 8,000 by now, just by accident. But is what it is, and we'll see how it goes. It's still trending better than the Sky Striker, which obviously did continue to hit fairly decent numbers and definitely surpassed the 14K that we're looking for Flint. But we'll have to see how it goes, really, and fingers crossed is all I'll say on that one. Anyway, that's that. Now, I'll start with the name onlys because they actually dropped them at the end, but some big names in here that I think a lot of people were kind of crying out for. I think Lifeline, Night Viper, Hit and Run. I think those three particular figures have come up so many times in people's most wanteds, my most wanteds, but in like generally in people's like, where is this figure? Why is this not out yet? Night Viper makes sense. I think Night Viper was expected because I think Night Viper's been moved around. I think Night Viper was going to be done in the 2025 line plan and it got moved, is my theory on that one. I think Grim Viper was kind of the replacement for Night Viper in that spot because of issues with delays and factory issues and production issues and what have you. So I think that they had to kind of like move some stuff around. Grim Viper became a thing within that new line plan sort of like objective, and the Night Viper was probably like pushed a little bit forward. That's my theory on that one, and I think it happened to another figure in that group as well, and we ended up getting Mainframe a little earlier, and I feel like he was also one that was brought from the future back into that section. That's what I think has happened there, because though it should have been a Night Viper and another figure, but doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because as you give it enough time, you're going to get the figures that you're absolutely pining for. So Lifeline, or Life Pine, as I'll call him from now on, he is a big one that is now in the line. I think that kind of urge is now kind of satiated, and also gives us an opportunity here for two more Tiger Force figures in this grouping, by the way. Lifeline and of course Hit and Run, which I know Justin Bell is absolutely over the moon with. So yeah, awesome stuff. And again, Hit and Run, another one that I kind of like have been scratching my head as, where the hell is he? Like, he needs to be in this line. And now that he's in it, we can start thinking of Night Force hit and run, Tiger Force hit and run, Wolf Squad, remember them? Hit and run. Hit and run with a new Hat Malibu Stacy hit and run. Night Viper, as we've just talked about. We've covered all them. So that's like those three big heavy hitters. And I'm not saying that Big Lob and Iceberg aren't. I'm just saying that as we move over there, we're kind of ticking some other boxes here. So more movie related characters here now with, we've got this kind of Cobra La thing going on at the moment, the whole Pythona reveal recently, the toenail tease that's been revealed that we'll talk about later. It's clearly Cobra La, isn't it? It's got to be. And then Big Lob, who is a larger than life character, and by the sound of it is going to be in a new book. It sounds like he's going to be a tall figure, which is pretty fun. I'm excited to see what they do with that, and also who else they're going to put in that sort of, who they will like reuse that body with, because there aren't many stupid tall characters, are there? Like they're all around. They're either huge hulking creatures like Nemesis Immortal or Gung Ho or people like that, Roadblock, or they're like, kind of average size, kind of, bucks. So with Big Lob, I'm kind of thinking, who the hell could you do? Quite like options in the comments for reuse of Big Lob, please, and thank you very much. Thank God we're finally getting Lifeline. Will Steeler have a hidden Z-Force logo like Quarrel? I don't think so, Glyn, but that's a great shout. I'd love that if they did that. But that might be one of those ones where they might not be aware that we had Steeler in that fashion. In the UK and the Palatoy, they might do, and that'd be great if they did. But with Quarrel, it was a bit more obvious because it was a different character. But with Steeler, it's Steeler still, so I don't know, but that would be awesome, and I'd be down for that 100%. Do you think any of these 5 could be a deluxe figure? Asks Scott. I think a few of them could. Well, I think Lifeline could be, and I think Hit and Run could be. Night Viper, they probably wouldn't do that with. He doesn't have a lot of gear, but if you did it more along the lines of the sort of Jungle Viper inspiration and gave him a ghillie, kind of futuristic ghillie suit and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, you're talking deluxe. But I think if it's just a Night Viper as is, kind of keeping it close to the original figure, you can get away with a backpack, a rifle, and a cool helmet, hair, kind of, sight thingy, night vision scenario. So we'll see how that goes. But to answer the question, yes, I think some of them could be, especially Lifeline. I don't think Hit and Run necessarily has to be. He might be one of the figures in a wave that has more gear. Like I really want to. I would like to see them utilize Hit and Run in a more interesting way, like with all the gear and stuff, for sure. But that's something that, I think you could go both ways with that. Kitty said. In terms of Big Lob, no, I don't think Big Lob needs to be a deluxe, and I don't think Iceberg does either. But I don't think there's nothing really here to say that maybe some of them or one of them or more would come with some sort of vehicle. Iceberg could come with a polar battle bear. I don't know if that's the case, but there's a possibility. So I don't know. I think these are all good shouts, though. I think Iceberg might be some sort of like HasLab related scenario though as well. I think obviously naming a winter operations in a name only makes a lot of sense right now. But yeah, movie 40th is 2027 is definitely a thing that will play a role all the way up to it. Says bias, yeah, for sure. Lobotomax, says Jason. True. I mean, he's more just neck, isn't it? But yeah. Could he use the Big Lob buck? Probably not. I know you were just joking anyway. They changed Mainframe's color and gloves. They made him more Sunbow accurate, Articulation Nation, in terms of the deco. Bad Wolf could be. No, sorry, that you're having a conversation with someone else. I'll let you do that. It's fine. Ed says, Joke all you want. Lobotomax is on my short list of wants at this point, and mine. Cobra La Citizen, says Chris G. What, the height thing or the toenail thing? Us tall people could get accurate selfie series using the Big Lob buck. Indeed, Joshua. Is Big Lob the last one from the movie? I think he is, actually. You could argue Chuckles in a white shirt and Jinx retro to make her more like the movie. You could argue that to a sense. But no, the fact of, yeah, like those characters are out. Like Falcon, Tunnel Rat, Beachhead, I suppose you could throw in there too. Big Lob now. Law and Order coming very, like, literally delivering as we speak. And of course, whoever else I've just forgotten there. Chuckles. So yeah, you've pretty much, they're done now with Big Lob. Anyway, sorry, I'm not going to get to all the comments. Sorry, guys. I'm going to keep moving on with this, but that is the name only reveals that were revealed today. Today is going to be the day. Then, well, not then. This was much earlier in the show. The first thing that really got shown off, other than those Snowcat kind of promo images, was this Shortfuse Steeler 2-pack, which we did know was coming and is a Target exclusive and unlocks that listing on our listings, which we will get to in about an hour's time, the way things are going. But Shortfuse, I think, looks so good. It's such a good version of him, and yeah, I like what they've done with this 2-pack. Interesting that Steeler's in there. That does kind of take him away from any sort of like tank kind of HasLab in the future. So if they were to do like the Mobat, he wouldn't be involved in it necessarily, or a different version of him would be. Maybe like Night Force Steeler would be in there. Being a bit a weird move, though. I think it's kind of like, it definitely states something here, doesn't it? Like, we're probably not going to do a Mobat in the future. I think the Mauler's still up for doing it. Maybe they thought they'd do Steeler because of the ramen toys. That's one that's out there. But yeah, Ed, Ramen Toys has us for the Mobat, HasLab Mauler 2027. I hope Zap is next, asks Troy. I think Zap is pretty much odds on to happen very soon. Paul says Desert Steeler with Mauler could work. Yes, could. I think like a Night Force Steeler, because that's definitely like precedent of that one. And I think you could, if you had a Mobat ever in a HasLab, which could be what, 27 or 29. We're talking a long way away for either of those. So yeah, maybe they're just like, well, if we do that in the future, we'll figure it out. Is probably what they're thinking. But at least we get Steeler, I guess. And for anyone that wanted that original 13 sort of locked in, we get in there. I think what will be left now with Grand Slam, Flash, and Zap. Is that right? Are there any others? Grand Slam, Flash, and Zap, I believe, are the last remaining OG characters. And it's funny because we have been saying for a while, well, I've been saying for a while, that I would be very surprised if they haven't completed this OG 13 by the end of 2026. And I think it's actually just happening. I think we're pretty much there, aren't we? So Grand Slam, I could see coming with like a jump set thing. That would be kind of awesome. And that could double as something for the Dragonfly, like a little helipad. I think that would be awesome, personally. Then you've got Zap, which I think any fashion would work. Like retro carded would be great. Standard classified retail wave of 4 would be fine. I don't think you necessarily need Zap to be deluxed in any way. He could like slide right out of there, Kitty said. Does what sound right, Troy? What was the other thing? What was the other character? So yeah, Zap, yeah, and then Flash. I could see Flash happening. In actual fact, I'm surprised Flash hasn't happened already. What with the fact that we've got all of his accessories basically, and just not Flash. So yeah, yeah, cool. So anyway, they look great, and we got some promo images for both of them. I mean, the thing you're dealing with here in the OG 13 is the fact that they are, I mean, you can start knocking them out, Kitty said. based on just having a very basic green shirt scenario, and they kind of have done that really here. And Steeler and Shortfuse are very, following in that sort of like, that design aesthetic, very kind of very simple green shirt aesthetic, which I think is the way to go with the OG13 for sure. Here is, I think, Shortfuse getting carried out of dangerous area. That's a really good shot, actually. I do like that one. And then here you've got them operating the mortar, which is fun, really, really cool. I like that. And then we've got some shots in the booth as well. So thanks to Phil Donnelly, who gave us these awesome like pictures of their booth setup when the new figures started to kind of make their way from the panel into the display case. He sent me about 1,000, and I think I posted all of them. But yeah, so yeah, here is Shortfuse getting posed out by Lenny, I believe, or Tony. That might be Lenny's arms. And then here is Steeler also getting that same kind of attention. Here they are posed up. So I wonder if, I like the fact, obviously, blast effects attaching to the kind of mortar as well. Very cool. So, you can do all the things you expected to do here with this set. I do like the visor on Steeler. Is that that's new, isn't it? That's Steeler's kind of very own sort of design. It reminds me, I get such a vibe of, what was the character now from the New Adventures of He-Man that had this? Was it Visor? It might just be Visor. Sorry, I've got a little spot on my head, which is probably going to bleed now, and it's going to look really crazy on camera. I'm bleeding to death. Yeah, I think it was Visor from the New Adventures of He-Man. That just reminds me of that all the time, because it was like very similar kind of vibe with that kind of like chunky sort of like visor. Yeah, Mechanic did have a visor, Jason. I'm talking about the New Adventures figures specifically, because that's where I get that like very tactile memory of it. But yeah, and here again, there's Shortfuse kind of isolated. There's Steeler isolated, sneakily pop in a little Grim Viper in the side there. By the way, I've got to say, the Grim Viper in person looks phenomenal. That deco is brighter than I thought it was, and he looks cool, and has effectively been described as a hardcore range Viper for the jungle, which is great. Yeah, awesome stuff. And of course, we'll get to the Grim Viper in a second, because obviously it was just caught in the image there that I was focusing on specifically for Shortfuse and Steeler. Yeah, we have the Ghost Viper with Dire, the DIRE, which was the which actually, by shout out to Mark, the copywriter, who posted the crystal ball file card again, which explains what Dire is, which is like a technology basically to confuse and mess up your opponents, basically. And this is, again, like, I really, yeah, these are my boots, Airplane City, indeed. There are my boots. Visor, sorry, thank you, Leon, not Visor, Visor. Thank you, Jason, as well. Yeah, amazing. Like this, like, again, yeah, it's using a lot of the Viper, isn't it, basically? But this is probably the newest-ish thing we've had since Mole Rats, I want to say. I know Wolf Spider was like, but again, like kit bashed to a degree. Not like, and again, like this is as well technically, but there's so much new thrown in here as well, like new, and again, like retooling other things in different transparent plastic as well, which is, another way around it in a sense. You've got Timber now that glows in the dark, and you've got what's his name, Serpentor's pet Cobra as well, that now glows in the dark. But there's a lot of other, obviously loads of cool stuff in this particular set. One of the things that really stands out to me is the snake head goes on as a head sculpt, Leon. The Cobra head that's next to the snake is a head sculpt, and so is the wolf one as well. So they're not head sculpt. Maybe they go over their head, but they're effectively for for heads, basically. So you can look like you've got like a cobra human and a werewolf and stuff like that. But yeah, and that the arm pieces as well, there's kind of like very kind of weird Ghostbuster arms. They must, I thought they like attack, like kind of plugged in, but obviously I think they go over the top of the hands. You've got almost, it's very, do you know what this is? This reminds me of things like Hellboy and stuff like that, where you know, like the releasing of the gas and it comes out of the arms and stuff, things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like very, and again, this is very kind of on that kind of mysterious, kind of like ethereal sort of plane a little bit as well. The you say visionaries, Tyrone. The actual you know how the Viper helmet has that kind of skull on it. It's really giving me oh god, what's the friggin' line called? I literally was about to say it, and then my brain just had a fart. What the hell's it called? It's like visionaries, but not. The whole fronts would come off and you'd have the whole hologram on there. I'm having an absolute fake fan meltdown here. I have so many of these too. What is that line called? Supernaturals. Thank you. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate you very much. Give me Supernaturals vibes, that helmet. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Marnius. Thank you, Jason. That's the beauty part of when you're on like a live. You can just be like, what's that thing? And then other people will tell you. Yeah, the Viper helmet with the skull makes it worth it for me as well, Big Sean. Like, I am very excited for this now. And I've seen that this is the shot, isn't it, on the left? Just so cool. That it's a really cool Viper repaint. Here's me kind of going, where's my Sonic Fighters Viper? It's not too far away from that, is it? It's actually not too far away from the Sonic Fighters version, but it's, yeah, I'm very much into this. Even like the little display on his like wrist communicator is really dope. And then when you kind of start plugging arms on and different heads and stuff, it just looks so crazy. Yeah, and you've got some, like, again, this is the whole thing. The whole point of this is to scare and you know, intimidate your opponents, basically. This is kind of Crystal Ball's kind of technology, and these are kind of like his troops, basically, I would say, because of that. Yeah, dope. And then, like, to throw in all the animals as well is kind of it's an interesting idea, but again, like, it's scary. It's like, thanks, Mark. Shout out to Mark in the chat. Mark, the copywriter of all of this wonderful narrative that we get with all this stuff. Thank you very much, Mark, for all the amazing work. The Dire Tech, yes, DIRE Tech. And yeah, so very, very excited for this completely. And yeah, love it. And here's another shot of, this is so Ghostbusters to me. This just feels like Ghostbusters. It feels like Timber has come back to life. And these guys are just kind of like doing some proton pack blasting. It's like really interesting. It's like they're creating these creatures with their, you know, with their packs and everything. It's so dope. Is this opening the door for Psych-Out, Scott? Yes. Basically. Thanos says, are they going to ghost other Cobra Troopers with other animals? There's lots to choose from. It looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like they're just literally like popping them out of their proton packs. I believe the Diatech thing is a crystal ball thing, right? Mark, you can tell us for sure in here, obviously, in the chat. But I'm pretty sure it's a crystal ball thing, unless he's in league with someone else regarding it. It looks like it's powered by Crystal Ball's Family Jewels. Thanks, Figure Six Pack. Crystal Ball thing. Thank you, Mark. I thought it was. It's the Ghost of the Snow Serpent Pelt. Jose, of course, that's genius. Who invented it, Jason? Oh, well, I think it's Crystal Ball thing. I think he invented it, Jason. Mark, another Mark, different Mark, says, time for Crystal Ball versus Psych-Out in Classified. I think it is, definitely. Crystal Ball is basically Cobra La, you're right, in a sense. He was born there, wasn't he? According to the Old school. Mark says, recently, his arcane paranormal research is centered on harnessing extra-dimensional energy of an unknown origin as a potentially limitless alternate power source. Sounds a bit energon-y to me, that does. Mark says, through this dire, dread-inducing responsive energy, tech, Crystal Ball can manifest spectral ectoplasmic physical forms with strange, fear-provoking side effects. If that doesn't answer your question, Jason, then nothing will. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated, dude, and great to have you in the chat. To back it up while we're talking about some of the things that you've kind of like basically created in a narrative sense. It's amazing. Did I dream that Dr. Venom was announced, or was that a name only reveal? You've dreamt that in both situations, Jamie Lynn. Yeah. I don't think it's anything that's been like leaked or anything like that, but it's a great dream. Definitely. Ed, yeah, it's a beautiful dream. Anyway, enough of looking at beautiful light up in the dark stuff like that. And it's not glow in the dark, it's the same crystal ball stuff, so it's just amazingly looking when you put light on it. But again, very cool. Also, the backpack, I wonder if that is like a precursor. That isn't reuse, is it? That's new, right? The backpack. Let's have a look at it. That's a new thing, right? That's not torches or barbecues or anything like that, is it? I just want to make sure that's the case. It's not blow torches. It's not torches. That's new, right? Is that a new backpack? Oh, it is barbecue. Oh, okay, I forget that then. Ignore me. Chris G says it's barbecue. Is that correct? Boba Fett says yes. No, it's new. I thought it was. Yeah, barbecues doesn't look like that at all. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Well, I'm looking at barbecue right now, but it could be. It could be barbecues. It is barbecue. I'm getting a lot of. Oh, someone sent me a pic. Cool. I'll have a look. I should have checked this beforehand, obviously. Bear with me while I find the pics. My goodness. Got loads of... Oh, more thousands more messages. Great. Oh, okay. Here we go. Where did you actually send it to me? That's probably a better question, isn't it? Rather than waste 3 hours of me looking for something on here. No, that's not going to be there. I've literally run out of places I can check. Where did you send it to me? Has barbecues hose and squirt gun too? So it is barbecue. Okay, cool. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you. Good. Okay, so it is reuse. I was hoping, genuinely hoping, that we were looking at some sort of like or pre-paint for something like, I don't know, a cesspool or something cool like that. But cesspool will probably just utilize that anyway, wouldn't he, if he ever comes out? But yeah, it's barbecue. Thank you guys, much appreciated. Just doesn't look like it there. It looks nothing like it, probably because of the deco, obviously. But anyway, cool. Jamie says it's totally barbecues, but a good repaint, hardly recognizable. Clearly hardly recognizable. That's a weird sentence. Here it is, like with all the gear in the display. And of course we had Pythona kind of promotional images, although I shared those yesterday. Pretty sure I did anyway. So that's not anything new, but it's always nice to see Pythona again. And she joined the display. But next we have the new figures on show as well. Sci-Fi looks incredible with that full face mask on, which has got a little bit of like see-through in it, ever so slightly transparent. So that's awesome. I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was just expecting it to be like a one just dark color you couldn't see anything in, but the fact you can kind of just about see his face is kind of cool. Yeah, great shot there. And Lenny kind of discussed the whole thing with the blast effect. It's two parts. So you've got like a power up sort of like bulge, and you've got the sticky long bit, and you can have one or the other, or just one, so you can have them both or one or the other. I mean, I kind of find that's a really cool way of doing it. So for those that are upset that it's not a plasma rifle, they can take the little ball bit off, even though the laser still would just be one thin, very simple, long line. To just be like one thin piece of plastic. Just get a bit of spaghetti, right? A bit of spaghetti, paint it blue, and stick that at the end of your pipe and smoke it. What? Anyway, looks really cool. And here he is in the display cabinet. So we do actually get a shot of this figure in the display cabinet as well, and he looks great. Yeah, well into this one. They've really knocked this one out of the park, honestly. Yes, Chris G, real lasers are invisible. But my joke the first time was it would just be like, look, you get a sticker set of just dots that you could put on things that the laser was pointing at. Didn't Sci-Fi have battery packs in his front leg pouches? He did in the 4-inch modern figure, and I kind of wish they'd carried that over into this one, but doesn't seem to be the case. I think they've kind of they've changed it a little bit to, not changed it, but they've gone with a different kind of like vibe. And it's a shame because I definitely think you could have had the magazine unclip, and then you could put another one in and clip it back in. Like it would have been like pointless, but also really fun at the same time. But yeah. So yeah, no more battery packs I mean, they are there, they're on there, they're just not removable. That's the sad thing about them not being removable. But they're there, they're on his thighs. And then of course we get Wetsuit, and we see how that little underwater vehicle is supposed to be utilized and how it's held and everything. So that's awesome. God, he looks good. Oh, Wetsuit looks so dope. My goodness me. This is another one that I look at and just go, no notes. Zero notes. Give me the Hydro Viper flippers as well, please. That just makes me excited for Hydro Viper. So you're definitely you're ticking so many boxes, and you're ticking boxes I didn't even know existed. The only other thing would be if they were to kind of have that underwater vehicle thing like connect to his front to make him like proper Max Ray from Centurions. He has no nipples, according to Emily and Lenny. Yeah, absolutely. Zero nips. Anyway, beautiful Wetsuit figure. I am so happy with this one. Oh, look at him being all orange and teal and brilliant. Fantastic. Infamous Prime says Supernaturals. Thank you. You're probably watching this on a bit of a delay, but thank you very much. I appreciate you reminding me that's the name of the thing. Here he is in the display. By the way, Supernaturals, what an absolute banger of a toy line back in the day. So random and blink and you miss it too. Kind of very similar with Visionaries in a sense, but Visionaries definitely had a bit more staying power in terms of its longevity. Supernaturals, I definitely reckon that is more niche than Visionaries. Definitely. Anyway, back to Wetsuit. And thank you, Infamous Prime 69. Yeah, brilliant. And there he is in just looking great in the figure in its. I've got no more notes on that one. Just brilliant. Then we get the Grim Viper, which this surprised me in a multiple ways. I wasn't expecting much from the render looked cool. I was down for the camo and all that kind of stuff. I thought it looked really cool. But when these images came up and the shot inside the display came up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fire. And like Lenny described this as a hardcore range Viper for the jungle, which is what everyone needs in their life, I think. But yeah, Grim Viper, nice little addition. New kind of like a new element to the line, even though again we are talking kit bash reuse sort of thing. Kit bash reuse city, but again, doesn't mean I can't love it. And also, this is going to be one of those things. It's going to be, I'm always going to hold really close to my heart in particular, because we got the official reveal of this bad boy. So I mean, like, how can I not love this thing? It's a range Viper on a huge buck in a crazy awesome deco with a massive machine gun, a minigun. Lovely stuff. And there he is in all his glory in the display. Hulking bugger. Waiting on drivers, says Robert. Scary AF and hulking cool new guy, says Ed. Yeah, indeed. Does he have green skin? I don't think so. I think it's just a tight shirt he's wearing. But yeah, kind of funny that, yeah, it's the Hulk, so maybe. Leon says, Devilfish, yes. Lenny response made it sound like water was still long ways off. I don't know what his response was to that. I don't think I caught that. It is such a great head sculpt, the Range Viper. It's phenomenal, isn't it? Jason says, airtight, psych out, regular release ripcord, and crazy legs and wild bill deep six. Yep, all I think possible. Well, I mean, airtight, yes. Psych out, yes. Regular release ripcord, absolutely. Crazy legs, absolutely. And wild bill, absolutely. Oh, regular release ripcord, crazy legs, wild bill, yes, and probably yes. And deep six, I don't doubt any of those. I could imagine seeing all of those before the end of the next year. Printed, on the Devilfish, on the Tampo thing. I see what you mean. Got you. Every carded Cobra from 82 to 87 has now been made. Crazy, has it? That's nuts. I haven't been keeping track of that, so it'd be nice to see like a little graphic of what's been done and what's still to do. I did start writing down all the names of just the 82 to 94 figures, characters that hadn't been done yet, and it went on for it was crazy. There's so many figures to do. It's brilliant. Like this is like I think a lot of people are like, I quickly just want all of these. I just want all of these now, and it's like, just let it happen. You know, the beauty part of it is that the line still has legs in it, very much so. We'll show you that when we look at the 2026 listings in a second. You know, I think there's way more than just a couple of years left in this line for sure. So we're gonna get there. It's just a matter of going, yeah, like let's enjoy the ride while we're doing it. Mainframe. I think Mainframe actually came out really cool. I kind of found it quite funny they had him kneeling down, like completely like making it impossible to kind of judge roughly how tall he is. It's like, yeah, let's do that to really screw everyone over. I've got a feeling as well. Actually, like, did the rent? I'm actually that is a good question. I think I was going off someone's comment ages ago about the deco, but he is pretty much like all light grey. Where's the bloody there it is. Or is it? There he is. Yeah. The render is completely different to this particular image. The render had him with darker pants. And then this image on here has him like in that kind of onesie kind of color. Here he is in the display. Again, you can't really see it clearly, but I don't think it's like as you know, like the render is literally saying, it is saying to you, dark pants, light shirt. And that is not saying that to me. I mean, it might be on a more subtle level. But anyway, Lenny was referring to water vehicles that they will like to make some in time. Okay, cool. He is in a flight suit, yeah. But again, like when you separate the colors like that, I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe they're kind of making it a little bit more. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not really that important. What is really cool is the fact that the laptop has a little thing that slides out the side of it. I know we saw that in the render, but you kind of see it like all in one kind of go. But the fact that that thing slides out is so dope, and it like hinges to close and everything. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think he's holding that thing I think it comes off as well. Like he's holding it. So sick. Love it. Yeah, this is going to be a beauty, isn't it? Tunnel Rat legs reuse, certainly for Mainframe Rogue. Yes. Is it the shirt as well? Could be. And then we have Desert Scorpion. Now the Scorpions are wow. Everything on this actually is wow. It's the soft goods cape, right? Just wow. They've gone to town on the Desert Scorpion. They really have. The Scorpion, the actual figure itself, all the different kind of options. The backpack looks dope. You got this like those kind of those spears. They kind of there's a little bit like the Tusken Raider vibes going on here as well. a little bit like yeah, that kind of thing going on. But yeah, soft goods cape, brilliant, love it. The kind of like with a little hoodie bit as well, very Pythona. I love that they have upped their game in soft goods, haven't they? They have upped their game with Pythona and now the Desert Scorpion. Just freaking out of this world. Mortal Kombat, Troy, yeah, very much so. It's Scorpion, isn't it? Fallout vibes, says Mark. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Jose, the cape is proper soft goods and looks great. Yeah, the Pythona cloak is next level. New factory has soft goods, says Chris G. Yeah. BQ King says, I'm only getting 2 Desert Scorpion. I don't need 100. Lies. Oh, that is not an antenna. It is a wire that connects to the helmet. Interesting. So it's just they've incorrectly got it as an antenna, where it should be kind of flexed down into the back of the helmet. Okay, cool. Did they say if Pythona's cloak is wired? No, it's not wired, Bad Wolf Media, but it looks like it falls in good places, if that makes sense. But it's not wired, no. Scorpion's name is Scorpius from Farscape. He joined Cobra and Mindbender did this to him. I love it. I'm hoping that there's just a new figure drop in the case. They don't say nothing like they did, 2 years ago with Mount Junkyard. Yes, Gil, there's a possibility that, I mean, there's more time to go. I expect another little sort of, yeah, like a booth reveal or something tomorrow or tonight or whenever, or maybe even on Sunday, they might drop something like that. But yeah, I could keep an eye out on Saturday because I feel like there could be a cheeky little a little side drop. It could be like something like, what have they revealed anything we haven't seen? I don't think they have they? Maybe one of the name onlys, but that would be really crazy if like all of a sudden Lifeline shows up in there, or Night Viper or something like that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, I would love for them to release a Sunbow Deco Dusty with a new helmet made with soft goods. Yes, Comics eCafe, definitely. Anyway, lovely stuff. And here's another great shot. This one of him kind of lowering him or pulling himself out of the Desert Scorpions, pulling himself out of a pit of giant scorpions. Surely you'll be okay. You're their master, right? Or maybe they're all pissed off with you. What's also funny about this is there's some sort of text in the background of these two images that isn't on any of the other slides, and I wonder what the hell that is. Like if it says like not for not for show or something. Liquid's like scorpions. Why did it have to be scorpions? Is that like the Indiana Jones snakes kind of quote? I think it is, isn't it? How is it the vintage Dusty has soft goods but classified didn't? Yeah, Mark. Well, it was a budget thing at that point. I have to agree though on some of the Snowcat comments, right? It feels like I like that little kind of display they have is kind of cool and fun, but it's certainly not giving me let's put everything behind this part of it. Like I kind of feel like they I was expecting something on like almost like a ridiculous scale, but maybe again there'd be other things at play with that. But at the same time, when you're looking at the situation with it not funding yet and sort of like stuttering a little bit, you kind of think, yeah, let's do whatever we can to really just get that going. And now they've almost taken they've taken a lot of the attention off the Snowcat and put it directly into all the other cool stuff that's happening with what I would say is one of, if not some of the like the best sort of reveals and quality of like figures and what have you that we've had in ages, in years. And again, like it's no slight on what's happened before, but it's just such an absolute string of bangers, including this massive scorpion, which looks beautiful. Look at that deco. But yeah, and there it is it looks massive in the display. And I love the fact they've got a couple of the Desert Scorpions kind of like prodding it, trying to kind of keep it, from eating everybody. But so cool, love it. Here's another shot of the Desert Scorpion with scorpions. I'm really excited for this. I mean, I'm excited for everything, but damn, I'm excited to open the claw that's in a box next to me down here. And then, of course, we got the steel core Sentry with the defense post revealed as well, which again is what I think a lot of people expected, and kind of what we were told in regards to what to expect as well when we had the interview with Lenny and Tony recently. That it would be a modular situation that worked with the modular fortification, that had different elements and different aspects, of course, included. Of course, you get in this one, you get the sandbags and the ladders, but you also get a missile rack, which I think is the same one that's on the back of the Stinger, right? But just in yellow and grey. Yeah, I think it's the same Stinger rack, and the machine gun rack from the Vamp. So yeah, two little kind of like gun emplacement, weapon emplacement options to kind of mix and match your stuff with. Really cool steel core redeco on this one as well. Really interesting as well. Really, and again, it does look like this one does look like a latrine actually. But yeah, and the Sunbow rifle, pistol, and knife, of course, for the actual trooper too. But yeah, cool. Oh, and not shown. I suppose it is shown. It's just shown differently. You've got the spotlight on there, but it's kind of over here. It's on. Yeah, it's there on the little kind of extra little thing. Kind of looks a little bit sneak peeky. A lot of people have said that to me. Oh, does this mean sneak peek's coming? And I'm like, I'm not sure. It doesn't really look like his periscope necessarily, but it could. They could do something like that with sneak peek. They could like retool the top bit, make it a periscope, and have that little kind of that kind of section, that little kind of thing that it's on, that stand. They could do that. I love the shot on the left. Really reminds me of the kind of stuff from back in the day where you've got like pretty much all of the accessories attached to the play set, like when you see the checkpoint and you have like the little halogen lamp and then the little gun on one side, and you just cover the whole thing in all of the different options. That's kind of what that's giving me there, with the little satellite dish, the missile rack, and the guns sticking out the front. It's really cool. It's dope. I'm down for this. And then you've got the deco of the steel core figure is really cool. It looks to be kind of like giving a little bit of everything vibes. Like you've got tan desert kind of helmet and secondary. You've got sort of like night operations kind of torso and arms, and then you've got jungle operations pants. It's like this guy doesn't know where he's got to be. He's like dressing for all of the occasions, isn't he? Basically. This has got Starship Troopers vibes, Rogue, for sure, in terms of the promo images. Yeah, big time. With all of like the Desert Scorpion attacks. Yeah. And then we see the Desert Scorpion with his normal face, or one of the Desert Scorpions with their regular face out. Unmasked Lenny in Desert Scorpion gear. Yeah, indeed. Hopefully this doesn't have the same issues that the modular fortification did in terms of, like disappearing as soon as it sold out. And this is cool as well, being attacked by the Desert Scorpion. Matt Shooting the Galaxy, they went to town on this as well. I like the star deco on this as well, because we haven't really seen that. We've seen like the star and stripe classified logo on a lot of things. We've seen other kind of logos and stuff, but I haven't seen that star since. That was a Star Wars joke, but I haven't seen that star since like friggin' the Sky Striker or whatever that had it. And that is even different because they've got the little kind of stripes either side, hasn't it? So I don't know. I like it. I like that little star. It's dope. Figure Six Pack says, Chris, the star symbol reminds me of the Chap May toy vehicles from the discount aisle. I guess it is got that vibe. Just got shipping notes for Cold Slither. I know they've been shipping those out. It's great. Well excited for that. Sneak peek card art gives me Christmas vibes. That face blush looks like Santa's elf. Yes, Jason does. He does actually. Now you say that, now I can't unsee that. It is on the Ore Striker. Sorry, Sean. Yes, you're right. It's the Ore Striker star, isn't it? Thank you, guys. That's where it's recognizable from, indeed. But yeah, it's cool that it's on this. What else from the shot? Yeah, here's the actual figure. Again, I think seeing it like in reality kind of makes me go, oof. I'm such a sucker for anything steel core related. Like if I see a steel core like figure, you know, no matter what deco, I'm probably going to grab it. Speaking of something Lenny said, says Action J, the Snowcat will have a USB. Yes, we talked about that earlier in the show, Action J, but yes, USB plug-in light option. Brilliant. Which is what's kind of necessary, I think, for sure. Anyway, this is a good one, I think. And I love this shot, actually, of the two modular fortifications, the two defense posts together. I'm down for this. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And any, like I said, any steel core redecos, I'm also here for. Please and thank you. Anyway, yeah, the Vintage Collection Republic gunship is the Star Wars HasLab, isn't it? 450. Is it 450? Wow. I don't know. I don't know about that to be a HasLab. Like, it's cool and all, but we've kind of got them at that scale. And obviously it's going to have loads of, I've only seen one image of it so far. I haven't seen all the other stuff yet. So I'm sure I'm going to go check it out and you know, get stuck into that. But yeah, I don't know why they're doing that. Anyway, it's not, you know, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth doing that? Bryce says, I bought a premium membership just to order the Cold Slither set and was shut out when it sold in 30 seconds. Hasbro are scam artists, says Bry. Sorry to hear that, mate. That really sucks. But you will, yeah, I guess like you're going to get another option. But at that point, what's the point of having the membership in that sense? Totally. No, I totally feel that. And that sucks, genuinely. It's 20% bigger. Is this the first time we had two HasLabs going? No, not even close. We've had 3 HasLabs at one time, once, Cropstar. They overlap like like it's going out of fashion. The Rancor and Sky Striker and Ghostbusters Proton Pack all happened at the same time. They were all overlapping of each other. Oh, premium is worth it, Paisano, if you're ordering from Pulse. Like, it's free shipping. So if you order, like, you know, if you're ordering everything from Pulse for the most part, it's worth it in that sense. Definitely. I think so, personally. It's not worth it if you're only getting it to get the Cold Slither set and failing. Absolutely not. But if you're doing it to save, you know, money on shipping, it's absolutely like paid for all of my shipping. There's a free shipping threshold. I actually didn't realize that was the case. But you are saving clearly quite a lot on shipping then in that case. Surely you've made that saving. If you've broken the threshold, you've gone way over in that case. So it'd probably be worth working out what you saved on shipping. When they overlap, do they all fully fund? Good question. So Rancor didn't, Joe did, Ghostbusters did. Star Wars had a couple that went at the same time, I think, and didn't fund. So yeah, there's a worry there, definitely. Do you mean one-time threshold? So it's free over $75? Is that what you guys are saying? Because yeah, like if you're ordering everything like a wave of things, you're getting free shipping on that. Like boom. Oh, without premium. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I'm not following. I'm being a moron as usual. Cool. In that case, just do that. Just do that then. And yes, only works in the United States for sure. Like if you're ordering from elsewhere, like, but then again, Canada doesn't have its own Pulse, right? Does Canada have its own Pulse? I don't think it does. Or does it? I think it might do. That's where they started opening all those different pulses, didn't they? Anyway, yeah, there's been loads of stuff where it all like overlaps and stuff like that. That's happened so many times over the years. I remember the Cookie Monster one was going at the same time as the Katana, the first one, and Cookie Monster failed. Did Chris just say Canadians don't have a pulse? Sort of, but not in that way that you're joking. Pulse covers all import fees to Canada, which is ACES. Oh, that's good. Because, yeah, import fees are an absolute pain going into Canada. Chris says, only problem is when I have Pulse Premium, they ship DHL half the time. Ghost Rider failed. Yes, I mean, there's a lot that failed. Ghost Rider's one of them for Marvel. Bunch of Star Wars ones. There was the Rancor. There was the lightsaber, the kind of like the double lightsaber situation. Cookie Monster. Oh God. But then there's more that have been successful, I guess. But that's the whole point of them doing it. I think it's because, it's like to say, like, do you want this? Is effectively what it is. And when we say no, it doesn't happen. So it's kind of it's just a barometer of safety for them, I guess. What the problem I think they'll probably find now is when they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves by making like loads of cool stuff, and then it doesn't actually go to think. I mean, you're still saving a load of money, but you've got a lot of development money in that as well. Like, it ain't cheap to develop something, even just that model, to show off and then do all the other stuff that goes along with it. I mean, that is not a cheap thing to do. But anyway, by the by. Then we got this teaser, the toenail teaser, as I like to call it. I think a lot of people are saying Globulus on this one, like his little shoulder piece from because it's only on one side, isn't it? Like on Globulus. So that's a good shout. No failed on classified yet, Troy. No. In fact, G.I. Joe's got a 100% record currently with HasLabs because they the Sky Striker was the first one, and that was for the 3 3/4 line. So yeah, they're batting 1,000, but actually not technically not batting 1,000, because if you're not getting to they missed out on one stretch goal for the Sky Striker, so they're batting 99.9% at the moment. Yeah, Cobra Royal Guard is a good shout as well. I was about to get to that, sorry, before I got sidetracked. So yeah, this toenail could either be a Globulus or a Royal Guard piece, absolutely. Because I mean, let's face it, it looks very Cobra La-ish, doesn't it? It's got Cobra La all over it, very much along the lines of Nemesis Immortal. So yeah, I think we've got something Royal Guardy or something Globuli there. Either way, it's from Cobra La, I'd imagine. But yeah, you guys are saying Royal Guard. Giant Man did not fully fund, did it not? But what do you mean, like, didn't reach stretch goals? There's a difference. If it funds, it's successful. If it reaches stretch goals, it's more successful. I don't think that's semantics either. A toenail of that size answers all my questions. Hilarious. It might be snow. True. Anyway. Giant Man was 100 backers from an unlock tier. Oh, that's painful, isn't it? That I could see that happening with this, though. I could see us being like one backer away from Flint and just being like, "What? Who was the one person that didn't make that happen?" Yeah, I think we're dealing with something Cobra La here. Is all I'll say for this one. And I'll also say I don't know. I've got an idea based on information I do have, but I don't know. And I think that information is pretty clear from what you guys heard on the last episode, when I almost certainly accidentally effectively said that Pythona was probably almost certainly kind of coming. But let's face it, they're all going to they're all technically coming, aren't they? Kitty said. Right, toenail, brilliant, sorted. Then just a few more images to go through. We've got Lenny and Tony with the band with Cold Slither. Love this shot. Thanks again to Phil Donnelly for all of the booth images. Appreciate you, mate. Then we've got the signing that went on as well. So we've got this is Phil went to the signing, had some grape donuts, chocolate donuts, and some grape soda. Very on theme. You do know as well that was like so last minute. They were quick, go out and get some chocolate donuts and find whatever grape soda you find. I don't care if it's like the whatever brand they can find, just find some. And someone ran out and got that. I want to meet the person that went out to get the grape soda and chocolate donuts, because they've done a phenomenal job. Grape soda and chocolate donut, amazing. And then here are the lads signing. The show, by all accounts, was amazing. I did catch a couple of videos. I've pretty much probably seen the whole event now, but loads of different like clips and stuff going around. It looks like everyone had an absolute blast. So yeah, all power to you. That looked great. I wish I'd been able to go to that. It looked so much bloody fun. And of course, here was the stuff they were signing. The stuff they were signing. Here was the Coles of the box set and the poster. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Lovely stuff. Yojo indeed. What a couple of months, eh? Crazy pants. And there's the werewolf ghost viper. This is a great shot, by the way. Matt and team need like a raise for this one, because it's brilliant. Howling at the moon, just genius. It looks like the hands come off and those are hand plug elements, right? Does that sound about right? So like you could take the hands off and pop those in as hand replacements. That's what it looks like. And it looks like that. I do think that is a head sculpt as opposed to a thing that goes over the head, I think. Anyway, still though, still amazing. I love this figure so much. Okay, let's get into the listings. So here are the unlocks for you guys. Obviously, we've already unlocked Sci-Fi, Grim Viper, Mainframe, Wetsuit, Desert Scorpion. That's all done down the left-hand side. Check. And of course, up to the 29th, that'll all be green, with the exception of the Legacy Police Tactical Unit, which we have still no idea what's actually happening with that in the future, but it's a future thing, I guess. And then if we move over to the other side, we can see that Shortfuse and Steeler are that Target exclusive Cartman 2-pack, G1230, and that is obviously confirmed based on the card information as well in the booth that has that number on that particular card. Then the same thing for the Ghost Viper and Dire, which is the Brooklyn 2-pack, as the listing suggests, G1231. It's a Walmart exclusive, and that is what the Ghost Viper is and was the whole time. We just didn't know. So there you go. That is one that was a complete surprise, by the way, to me. So Ghost Viper was a complete surprise. Had no idea that's what was happening. I thought that was just a standard 2-pack for Brooklyn, and yeah, just assumed we were going to get another couple of Night Force figures or what have you. But no, didn't happen. So Ghost Viper and Dire are the Brooklyn 2-pack. And Dire being the other element. So that's just all the green stuff, I guess. Going through everything, obviously Pythona I've updated to be a fall con exclusive / pulse, because there's enough space to fit that in there. She is SP Kyle, of course. And the SSC, the Steel Core Sentry. Steel Sentry. No, it should be SCS, shouldn't it? Not SSC. Idiot. It should be Steel Core Sentries. That'd be SCS. I'll change that. But SCS and Defense Post is Fishboy Deluxe Troop Builder Pack. And we had a price point for it, but obviously that price point was wrong. So that is 100%. That's G1176. That number is on the box as well. So we know that it is that. Thank you, Jay Doran, for correcting my Steel Core Sentry acronym mistake. And yeah, so the only things left to be unlocked in 2025 is Chairface, which is a Fanmazon, and that'll probably be later in the year. And I still think is Mutton Junkyard, but we'll have to see on that one. Someone did say that Emily mentioned that the Desert Scorpion was going to be the last figure pet of 2025. So maybe Chairface is pushed to next year. I don't know. But no, I haven't heard hide nor hair of that one for a while. So we'll have to see how that pans out. And the other one is that unknown vehicle, G1233 Pulse. So we're going to have to, maybe later this year. I mean, there's still a lot of 2025 to go. We've got PulseCon, we've got New York Comic Con, we've got MCM, all that like fall con stuff, which again, it's not just going to be Pythona. They're going to do other stuff, reveals and what have you. I suppose it'll be reveals for what's going to be dropping in the first part of 2026 then, I guess. 1027 as well. So there's loads of like other things to go, and there's only like a couple of things left. That retro listing at the bottom is Ralph T. That is now an inactive listing. So that's done and dusted, covered in mustard. Have I got more images from Phil coming out? Yeah, I do. Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you for that. No, that's appreciated still. He sent me an image of the Sci-Fi card with all the information on it. Mainline distribution. Thank you. Lovely stuff. So yeah, lots of things still coming. R Sharp says the exclusives being available at the fall cons make me think maybe no PulseCon 1027 this year. Do you know what? That is not a bad shout. I would be surprised if there was no PulseCon, but also I also haven't seen a PulseCon listing. So it's possible. I might have to pose that question to somebody in the know and be told, no, we can't tell you. The product card for the Ghost Viper reads Dire Beasts. Thank you, Stocky BD. I mean, sure, I'll put beasts on there. It's just really just, yeah. I mean, you know what it means. But yeah, I will definitely, I'll add beasts on there. Thank you. And it's funny because I do actually have that card on here thanks to our very wonderful Phil. Phil gave you a different name, Phil Donnelly. So yeah, I'll throw beasts in there as well, just for lols, giggles and shizzes and giggles. Anyway, should we move on to the new stuff? The massive amount of new listings for 2026. Yeah, here we go. Bosh, looking a little bit more busy now. Again, nothing to actually unlock, unfortunately, but we can. One of the listings is for NYCC, which is kind of cool. So that'll be interesting to find out what that's going to be eventually. But as you can see down there, all these kind of new purple ones are the new listings. So we've got 3 more sort of retail mainline figure kind of code words popped up. There isn't a 4th one, which is weird. So maybe there's another one to come there, probably, most likely. In terms of the standard deluxe, we've got another legacy figure listing, another pet, another deluxe, and another weird one, which might have a new price point, but that's Louise versus 2-pack. So that's like a G.I. Joe Cobra something. And then we've got 2 more Target listings there, a Dripple and Vavoom 2-pack. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Sounds like something I would come up with. If you were to give me the reins of trying to work out like names to give listings, Dripple is one I would come up with. And we've also got 2 more Walmart listings there with Montaro and Ghost. So 3 Target and 3 Walmart listings now, starting to look like, build up a little bit. And then we've got a few more in that kind of JQ area. We've got the Race 2-pack, which is Race Bannon, I believe, from Johnny Quest. But obviously it's not. It's a Fanmazon, but, whatever. And then we've got a JQ Deluxe Plus, which we don't even know what it is for, that JQ Bandit Deluxe Plus. But that's like a new little term. That's interesting. And then if we move down to even more, we've got just a load of Pulse listings, Pulse exclusives, and they're all unknown at the moment. They're just numbers. One of them's a 2-pack, and they're all Pulse, but we don't know anything about them. So there you go. Then you've got the HasLab Snowcat, and then, like I said, that NYCC one, which is interesting. And then, your retro listings at the end of that. And that's it. So the 2026 listings are growing and looking a little bit closer now to the 2025 listings. Obviously, still got a bit of a way to go, but this is not all of the listings. Don't you worry. But yeah, you do look at this sometimes and go, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of stuff here and here. Just yikes. And this is only going to get bigger and unlock more things as we go. What's hilarious to me is that Lifeline, Hit and Run, Night Viper, Big Lob, and Iceberg are probably in here somewhere. And I don't know which ones they are. So who knows? Hopefully, eventually, the information will cross-reference a bit, and we'll get more information and know what the deal is. But as for now, this is where we are. But there you go, guys. 2026 has grown extra limbs like it's Pythona's mutated hand. There you go. Now, official name-only reveals have changed as well. So I've added these now. I've taken the Steel Core Sentry off. So it's Lifeline, Hit and Run, Iceberg, Taurus and Red Dog 2-pack, Big Lob, and Night Viper for Cobra as well at the end there. So again, the name-only reveals have grown. That'll only grow again when we get... what's his name? God, that's a good point, by the way. The joke about starting lineup. Oh my God. We knew Big Lob was coming. Can't let those starting lineup molds go to waste. Lone Dragon, if they have done that, did I see Rogue and who was it with her? Like a 2-pack for Marvel playing basketball. And am I right in thinking, oh, looks like they're using the starting lineup body? Like I thought, oh my God, that could so be the case. Gambit is a starting lineup body. That's brilliant. That's genius, actually. It's absolutely genius. I am here for that all day. I'm here for that all day long. It's like how, like certain lines would never really come out, or they would come out in a different fashion. So like the only thing that springs to mind right now is Ninja Commandos that never came out for G.I. Joe that became the molds used for like those Mortal Kombat movie figures. So, oh my God, that's genius, man. I think that we need more of that. We need more of that starting lineup. Those figures need to make it out in some way, shape, or form, I think, anyway. Anyway, lovely stuff. Yeah, what was I going to say? I think that's it. That's name only reveals. That's done. Check, fix that. And digital renders are now updated too. So we've removed your obvious ones like the few that are going up on pre-order. So I thought I'd take those off now because we know they're going up. Oh, that's another good point. Yes, Mark. They spell iceberg wrong. They spell iceberg with a U instead of an E, which I think is hilarious. And I don't mean Ikuberg. I mean iceberg, the U, the second U. Just hilarious, I thought. But in any case, I spelt it correctly. See? I spelt it correctly with an E, not with a U. You crazy buggers. Otherwise, it should have been Lifelinu, Hitten, Hutton Rin, and Iceberg. Anyway, the Newt Viper. Anyway, there you digital renders. Legacy Cop, the Shortfuse and Steeler 2-pack, the Ghost Viper with Dire Beasts, and of course your HasLab offering. And I've taken everything else off because that's all going to go up for pre-order on the 29th. And good luck. Good luck to everyone in getting what you want. That's everything. That is everything now. We're just going to have a quick word from our sponsor and I'll call it a night. But bear with me. I'll be back in 28 seconds. Yes, Battle Action Force, the Deluxe Treasury Editions, you can get them at totaltoybooks.com if you're in the UK and Europe, and of course Skeletron.com if you're in the US. Now, a couple of things have popped up as I was away. People talking about the fridge stuff that was kind of being handed out and stuff. That was a fan that was doing that. It's been like their entire like focus to try and get the fridge in the classified series, and I really do hope it happens, honestly. But yeah, that was that wasn't like, they weren't like trying to tell you that the fridge is coming necessarily. But I'll tell you now, I'd be down for that. I have heard on the grapevine that obviously the fridge is not in great health. So I don't think he's been. I want to say like the Sarge has been talking about that. He's been saying he's trying to get the fridge to do stuff, but he doesn't want to do the kind of cons and stuff. In any case, I would love to see the fridge in the classified series, but alas, I think it's one of those things where that isn't necessarily Hasbro trying to like tease it, if you know what I mean. Just in case you were thinking that was the case, so it isn't. That said, what was the other thing I was going to say that someone mentioned up in here? Just landed in London. The hunt for Action Force begins, says Black_Highlander. Good luck. Where are all the old HasLab characters, Ripcord and Crazy Legs? You mean like their regular versions, David? Probably coming very soon, I'd imagine. Expect the 2026 listings to probably have a Ripcord or a Crazy Legs in there. I'd be surprised if that wasn't the case. Rshop says they can use an NFL for fridge and an NBA for big lob. They can. They absolutely can. And I think that would be great, actually. Starting lineup could literally give it could create life where life wasn't. Yeah, absolutely. I'm down for this. Starting lineup can be brought back from the dead, or it technically already has been brought back from the dead in a sense. Thank you, Gambit. Anyway, yes. Hardball, Troy, right? You're talking about for the baseball? Because yeah, you could get like hardball done utilizing the baseball situation. Captain Gridiron, another good shout toy. There's a lot of options here where we could get starting lineup to fill some gaps for us. Who's fill some gaps? Anyway, that's me. I've been recapping Sdcc today, and it's been fun. Really super crazy blown away by some of the reveals that we've seen over the last couple of days. Like it's been nuts. Pythona, it's probably so far my standout, but honestly, it's not like standout like miles away. Like we're talking like a very high level of quality so far. Yep, said Captain Gridiron, David. Phil McCracken says 44D2. Anyway, yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. It's been crazy fun, and I'm gonna enjoy what my claw looks like because I'm definitely gonna check that out next. I'm also excited for like just everything because everything's so exciting at the moment. I'm going. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow for recap of day 3, and that'll be in the evening. No weekly tomorrow. Okay, so it'll be a recap of Sdcc day 3 situation, and just there might be some stuff. It'll just be maybe some like close-up images or some other stuff to kind of talk about. Maybe some of the details come out that we can talk about. But either way, I'll be here tomorrow night for a recap of day 3. Stay fresh, cheese bags, and as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Laters. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.